Earlier this month, Reverend Schenck told the New York Times that as head of an evangelical group, he was behind a wine and dine scheme to gain access to conservative Supreme Court justices in an effort to advance anti-abortion interests. The goal, Schenck told the Times, was to embolden the justices, to lay the legal groundwork for an eventual reversal of Roe v. Wade by delivering unapologetically conservative dissents. Basically, to target the justices in social settings as a way of convincing them to take fairly unprecedented and broadly unpopular positions, in this case, striking down Roe. Now, whether Reverend Schenck's scheme worked, we don't know. But this is how he did it.
What we would attempt to do is match couples, our couples, to justice couples. So kind of feel out personality types, interests, age, station in life, and so forth, and try our best to be matchmakers. Try to pair up couples where we thought there was a good prospect for a meaningful friendship to develop. And this particular couple really had an innate capacity for understanding human behavior, what bothered those justice couples they interacted with, what their needs were, and they responded to those needs.
That couple he's talking about here is Donald and Gail Wright. Through Schenck's scheme, the Wrights apparently became close friends with Justice Alito and his wife. They got access to other justices as well. In fact, when Donald Wright died in 2020, his family posted these pictures online, photos with Chief Justice Roberts and Justice Antonin Scalia. And then there's that particular one with Justice Alito inside Alito's chambers. The Wrights and the Alitos were introduced through the Wrights donations to the Supreme Court Historical Society, a nonprofit organization that was apparently used by Schenck as a vehicle to gain access to the Supreme Court. And that access came with instructions. Mr. Schenck gave his stealth missionaries close instruction. The justices were more likely to let their guard down at the Historical Society's annual dinners because they assumed attendees had been properly vetted. This was a well-planned, well-financed strategy to gain access to some of the most powerful people in America. Schenck understood that pressuring politicians was ephemeral. They could be kicked out of office or lose re-election, but Supreme Court justices, they had lifetime tenure. And man, was this strategy effective. Schenck says that the Wrights became so close to Justice Alito, a guy they casually referred to as Sam, that they learned in advance about the court's decision in the landmark 2014 case Burwell v. Hobby Lobby. The suggestion here is that Justice Alito, who authored that decision, leaked the information to his buddies. Now, Alito has denied this, but to some degree, whether Alito leaked the decision isn't actually the most staggeringly inappropriate thing here. What Schenck's story reveals is an established network where people with money who want to access Supreme Court justices in service of their own ideological missions, those people can indeed buy access to Supreme Court justices and maybe even further those ideological missions, or at least get some insanely useful information as it pertains to their ideological missions. And so far, no one is stopping this. The Wrights are still involved with the Supreme Court Historical Society. As of 2021, Gail Wright was listed as a distinguished donor of the society, which is a title given to people who donate between $5,000 to $25,000 in any given year. And can you blame her? If a strategy to lobby some of the most influential people in the country has worked this well, why stop now?